I like smoked oysters.
Oh, I do too.
I'm not going to think about them now when I open them up. I'm going to think of Hillary's breath.
You'll think of clits when you open oysters.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like a mutilated
I
clitoris.
eat them because they're a good way of maintaining a ketogenic diet, Nick DiPaolo. Not because I'm disparaging.
I eat them too.
Former...
I know about all that shit. I saw you eating. You put up those like little videos. I don't know, was it Facebook Live or whatever? You were making breakfast with like 5 eggs and kimchi and shit.
Yeah.
I went and I have like 4 or 5 eggs every morning.
Do you?
Oh, I
it's
fucking
good
love
for
them.
you. Eggs are good
love
for
them.
you. Those goddamn criminals, probably that work for the Clinton administration, they were trying to convince us for a long time that eggs are bad for you. That cholesterol, listen to me, folks, not bad. Very good for you.
I saw you had like kimchi and it was enough. It looked like it would last you 2 weeks.
No,
that was like your
food.
breakfast. That's because you're hyper still, though, right?
I'm still hyper. God damn it.
You
That's why I have
right?
to have this weight right here. Just in case I need to work out while I'm talking to people.
And I want to try that elk roast you made.
Ooh, yeah,
I
that was last
fucking
night.
hoping you had some leftovers.
Well, my buddy John Dudley had this guy Chad Ward on his podcast. And Chad Ward is this barbecue master, and he was basically saying that when I cook, that what I'm doing by grilling things over high heat, that you fuck it up because you dry out the meat somewhat. Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, what does he say to do? He says, don't cook anything over 275 degrees. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. So I put an elk roast on last night. I put a meat thermometer in that bitch, and I let it cook low and slow for like an hour and a half. I cooked this roast. It wasn't a big roast either. Cooked it for an hour and a half, got it to 125 degrees. Then I took a frying pan.
And you seared the outside of it.
Yeah, with butter, hot butter. Then
elk and butter.
You wrap it up in aluminum foil. And you put it in a cooler, because the cooler will keep it warm just like it keeps it cold, right? I put it in a Yeti cooler.
No shit.
Yeah. This is what all those barbecue masters do. They let it finish in a cooler. And then I pulled that bitch out and I sliced it up. Holy shit, was he right.
I was looking at the pictures. It was cooked fucking perfect.
Oh, holy shit, was he right. It was so delicious, and it was so much moister than any roast. I'd cooked some delicious roasts in the past.
Yeah.
But they were always...
I'm a good cook, too.
I've been told that I cut into it too soon, and that's why there's all that
bleeding
blood.
Out. Yeah,
but
it's like
who
cutting
gives
a teenager.
Fuck? It was amazing. I poured that blood all over it. I enjoyed that blood.
Okay, what's on the outside of it, Joe? What's the rub? Not to turn this into fucking Rachel Ray.
Kosher salt, black pepper, and garlic powder. So I put all that on before I put it, before I put it into the grill, before I put it into the pellet grill. Pellet grills, if you don't have one of those.
I don't.
They are
I have a pellet gun.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Shoot squirrels and shit?
Yes.
Pellet grills are the shit because they maintain the same temperature, and it's all run on wood because it's totally healthy because they have an element, like a heating element in there.
Yeah.
And they have these wood pellets. And the wood pellets are made, when they cut like wood for a table like this, they take the hardwood from that stuff and then they compress it. And the natural sugars in the wood allow it to stay in these pellets. And the pellets, you can break them up in your hand. They're like really easy to break.
Right.
Because they're not really solid.
Right.
But when the heating element cooks them, then the heat from that and the fire from the pellets and the smoke flavors the meat. So it's natural wood flavoring, 100% natural,
so
no chemicals.
You can get flavored pellets, you mean?
Yeah, you can get apple.
Shit.
You can get apple wood. You can get oak. You can get hickory.
Pussy?
I don't think they have pussy flavor, but you can probably start it. You could probably start your own company.
Cockwood?
Yeah, just have a bunch of girls just sitting there by the lumberyard. Just take it, rub it on the snatch.
I saw that. I'm like, that is cooked perfectly.
Yeah, well.
Nice crunch on the outside.
The guy's definitely right, because before I was doing it all by eye and doing it by timing, but using a meat thermometer, I got the inside to 125 degrees, which is not quite enough.
Right.
It's a little low,
but
then
keep cooking.
Yeah, exactly. So then when you sear it on the outside, it gets a little more inside because of that, and then when you wrap it up in aluminum foil, because the searing was only a few minutes, and then
so you sear at the end.
Yeah,
which is just the opposite of what people used to do. They'd sear the outside.
Well, this guy's a world champion barbecue guy, so I just listen to him. But I don't know, man. They do it differently at certain steakhouses. Right. But at steakhouses, you're cooking a beef steak, and a beef steak is so filled with fat. It's so different.
Now the elk, is it lean?
Super lean.
Is
it
still flavorful?
I got a bunch back. Oh, it's the most flavorful.
Is it? Because lean meat usually isn't. That's why people eat beef.
It's got a rich, different kind of taste to it because it's such a healthy animal because it's a giant fucking animal and it's out there running around eating whatever the fuck it wants.
It's not at this 7-Eleven at midnight getting yodels.
It's like you're eating an athlete, It's like you're eating Carl Lewis's ass. It's like you got something that can run and sprint.
Keep enticing me, Joe. Jesus Christ.
I wanted to bring you back from the edge.
Is that what it said on the menu?
You started salivating, and then you think about Carl Lewis bent over a sofa.
No, after he ran a 3:30.
Just pulling his ass apart.
Tasted like...
Should I have said Herschel Walker?
Yeah.
It would have been better.
Yeah, no, that's...
But you're getting like this healthy, strong animal. It just has more vitamins in it, more nutrients. It tastes different. It's more vibrant. Plus, I fucking killed it, so I know where it came from.
You killed the
there.
elk?
Yeah.
What, you hit it on the 101 or something?
No, I shot it with a bow and arrow. So
You're like my cousin. He's a fucking killer.
Cousin's a killer?
No, bow and arrow guy.
To me, it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's not for everybody,
now you
but
shot
for me,
it
it's
in
the
Inglewood?
way. Yeah, I went to Inglewood. I went to Watts. I found it outside of a liquor store at 3 o'clock in the morning, bugling.
Where'd you go hunting? Seriously, for elk?
That one, I think that was from Tejon Ranch, which is honestly not that far from here. It's
Oh,
only
it was on a ranch and it was penned in? That's not fair.
No, it's not penned in at all. 270,000 acres, free range.
Where? Here? Upstate?
No, it's upstate.
Yeah.
It's like outside of, like a half hour outside of Bakersfield.
Yeah.
But it's a huge ranch, the biggest ranch in all of California. And so I've been there. I've hunted elk there. I got a deer that I shot in Iowa that I'm going to cook that way tonight.
Yeah, my cousin, that's what he does.
Yeah. Bow and arrow is the way to go.
Yes.
Man. It just takes way too long to learn how to do it for most people. But it does not loud. It, like there's no, like, this is the way my friend Cameron Haynes always likes to describe it. He's like, when you go to the woods, it's like everything is peaceful and quiet, and the gun's like, boom. He's like, it all seems out of place to me.
Yeah. All the birds go, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, but with the bow and arrow, it's like almost silent. It's like, but it just takes
and it's harder. It's more of a sport.
Well, you got to get way closer.
A little more even.
You got to get way closer. You got to get way closer.
Like, you got to be like sitting on its back.
Well, you got to be fucking sneaky, because that's what's really exciting about, like, when you're stalking. Like, one of the most fun hunts I went on, I failed. I went to Nevada. We went spot and stalk hunting for mule deer, and so you're like creeping up on these deer, and these fucking deer.
What's
are so
a mule
tuned
deer,
in.
Joe?
A mule deer is one of the largest deer species, and it lives in mostly in the West. And that's a mule deer right there, and that's a mule deer right there. That one with the velvet still in its antlers.
Oh, okay.
It's a big deer, and they live in the woods, and you got to creep up on these fuckers because they're used to being attacked by mountain lions. So like their ears
bastards.
are huge, like a mule's ear. That's why they call them mule deer. And see how big their fucking ears are? They're like, hey, what's going on?
Looks
What's
like
over
Obama.
there? What's over here? What's over here? How dare you?
Yeah,
not
he had
look
big
like Obama.
fucking big ears.
You are not an Obama fan. I'm a Obama fan as a statesman. I don't think a lot of things he did were
No, that's
very
a good point.
But as a statesman, I think he was an excellent representative of the
Fair
United
enough.
States.
I buy that.
That's part of the problem with Trump, is that now assholes have a king. It's like, he's an asshole,
Yeah, but-
I'm an asshole.
Well, but see, that's what I like. He's plain spoken. That's what I like about him. He's not a fucking professional politician, and that's sort of what I like about him.
Well, I like that he's not a
not the
professional
best messenger.
politician.
Don't get me wrong, but
What do you
I'm
like
just saying.
about him? What do you like about him?
I just fucking it's a.
Did you vote for him?
Yes, I did.
How dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? They're not going to let you leave.
Huh?
Jerry Brown's going to raise up from
Fuck
his
Jerry
grave
Brown,
right now. And
fucking
we
hippie
found
fuck.
one.
Smoke
we
another
found
joint,
one.
you dope.
Whoa, joints are not bad for you. How dare you?
I forgot who I'm talking to. What show I was.
I know. See, that's why I confuse people. I have guns and weed.
Yeah.
I like the two of them together. They're great. Don't be scared.
Oh.
What did you?
I
What'd
can't.
you like?
I told you my weed story, or did I?
Yeah.
When I ate the edible.
Yeah. Well, edibles are a different trip.
Yeah, especially for a guy who hadn't had a joint since 1992.
Yeah.
And
You should start super
slow. It was like
slow.
doing acid. For me, I
Yeah.
fucking freaked out.
We were on vacation recently, and my wife can put away the fucking edibles. She likes edibles. She likes to eat edibles before she goes to bed. And our friend of ours, who is this guy from England, really great guy, very smart guy, doesn't smoke
Keith
the
Richards.
pot, and doesn't smoke the pot at all. And my wife was like, "I'm gonna take my medicine," and she takes it before she goes to bed. She likes it; it relaxes her. And he's like, "Well, what is that?"
Every
And
night?
she's like, "It's pot."
Can I
Yeah.
ask? Every night?
Every night.
Could
Yeah.
she not sleep without it if she doesn't have
She
it?
can sleep without it.
Yeah.
She sleeps better with it, but she goes down. I mean, she doesn't get Joey Diaz doses, but she takes high doses. So anyway, she gives some to our friend, and she gives him half of what she takes. I go, that's too much. She's like, oh, he's going to be fine. This motherfucker, like an hour and a half later, was like, we have to check on the children, make sure they're still breathing. he was so out of his mind. The next day, he was still high. The next day, woke up for breakfast, still high, just tripping his balls off. Because when you eat it, it's a psychedelic drug. It's not the same thing.
First of all, like I said, and literally I hadn't smoked a joint. I was never a weed guy since like the early 90s. So just weed in general is stronger. And then to make it an edible, and then I did the typical rookie stupid thing. I took a corner of it. I waited about 31 minutes. I'm like, this ain't doing shit.
Exactly.
Then I ate the rest like a Snickers bar. Next thing you know, I'm like fucking...
Those are the 4 words you should never say after you take weed. I don't feel shit.
I know. Those were my first words I said.
You set yourself up for disaster.
Yeah, I had no idea. You know, I didn't eat the whole thing, but I took another bite, and then I'm watching my fucking, like I said, my flat screen TV, 51-inch, and all of a sudden it looked like a black and white 11-inch TV.
You start freaking.
And it sounded a mile away and shit.
Whoa.
So I did what you're supposed to do in that situation. I ran into a dark bedroom and stared at an alarm clock.
Well, you know what you should do if you're really fucked up like that? Drink coffee. That's one thing. The coffee does counteract the cannabis. That's one thing to do.
Okay.
If you're ever really freaking out, if you have too much pot in your system, drink coffee. Another one, take a cold shower. Just get in that.
Really?
Yep, cold as fuck. Just get in there and suffer. So where you can't breathe. You know those cold showers? Like, oh, Jesus.
No, I don't.
I love those showers. I take those showers all the time, especially after yoga. I take a hot yoga, and then I take a cold shower, like fucking as cold as it gets.
And you're wide awake.
If I could put ice in the water tank, I would do that. It's just like, woo! Mysterious illness linked to marijuana use on the rise in legal weed states. That's Scott Adams. What'd they do to him? He got younger.
What is this? The story was going around for a couple weeks ago.
What?
This is at the end of the year. It's called...
it's killing pussies.
Brain damage.
Cannabinoid hypermesis syndrome.
Is it real?
Oh, I had that a couple weeks
ago. You can look up a bunch of stories on it. People went to the ER for it, but
look at this: nausea, vomiting, and crampy abdominal pain. Walking off, pussy.
I get that from Chipotle.
This is how you clear it.
Hot showers or baths. Interesting. Relieved by hot showers. Okay, maybe I'm giving the wrong advice.
If you're freaking out, they said just take a hot shower, not a cold shower.
Oh, well, I'm saying cold.
Thanks, Joe, for the information.
Don't be a pussy. You know why? It says hot shower because you're too much of a pussy to take a cold shower. The cold shower probably cures you quicker. I love cold showers because it's like it's suffering.
Yeah,
like you have to suffer in there. Yeah.
When I lived in a fraternity, University of Maine, a hot water heater broke down. It's February in Maine. Okay, it's literally minus 21 outside, and we didn't have. I go in the shower, and it's so cold, you could feel each individual drop hitting you on the head like it hurt. It made my eyes water. It's fucking brutal.
Yeah, like almost 32 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Just a shade over ice.
When I was doing, back in the Taekwondo days, there's this guy named Bob Caffarella, and he was one of my instructor's first black belts, and he was just a complete psycho. And Bob Caffarella used to always take cold showers. That's what he used to. He slept in the gym. He lived in the gym. He used to teach classes there for the longest time. And he would take cold showers because it was good for the spirit. And this guy didn't take a fucking quick shower either. It wasn't like, okay, we're done. No, that dude was just sitting there. And we would all be terrified of him. And we'd get in that cold shower. We knew how cold it was, and it was like a different level of psycho he was.
It's a horrible way to die.
You don't die that way. You just get cold.
No, I'm just saying people who have fallen through ice and shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you fucking imagine?
There's a photo that they found recently of a moose. It was like half in, half out. It just got tired trying to get out of the ice. And because moose will walk on frozen lakes, but, you know, they're fucking 1,800 pounds.
Right.
And then they'll step in one area where it's not that thick, and this fucker went right through, and he just got stuck.
And he died?
Froze there in the lake.
Like that lady in the news last week, the Goodwill bin. You read that one, right?
No.
And somewhere, I think it was in Pennsylvania, she goes to a Goodwill bin to put some shit in. Yeah, at 2 in the morning. Although they said she had items out when they found her. It sounds like she was robbing it to me. But she's in the Goodwill bin, 2 in the morning, she's on a foot ladder.
Oh, no.
The bin lid falls on her arm, breaks her arm and wrist. She's hanging from the side of the bin. The ladder falls. She's caught there. Listen to this. That happened at 2 in the morning. They find her frozen to death the next morning.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is that not fucking horrible? She's doing a nice thing, contributing clothes. Talk about a no good deed. And they find her hanging from the bin.